Hooah! Oh, nope, nope, another kitty assault, and the USB, and the Comcast, but eh, we overcome. We see the problems, we assault the problems. So we've got ProProProPro and gocreate01, his lovely little attachment that is riding on his back all the way to the finals. For this team, Mad Depression, they're the carbon color in the top left. We got GoCreate and the Warthog, ProProProPro and the Neo. Meanwhile, Killer and nullkuhl, who are maybe independently not quite as good as ProProProPro. Together, they may be able to overcome Killer in that bomber, and that beta bomber, actually, and nullkuhl in the Gothic Osprey, already neutralizing that right outpost and moving on to the next one. So Killer sending in some Dillos, sending in some tanks to go ahead and neutralize that while he goes for a quick scout and sees what's going on. If he can take any units out, then that's basically a victory. So he's trying to snipe this Longhorn, actually gets it, snipes the creeps. That's going to slow this down, but is he going to get killed on the way? Neo is wicked sick fast, so Killer's going to have a hard time just getting back and not dying, but he does make it. ProPro is going to be a little disappointed with that. Green team actually has the initiative now. Green actually has this small outpost advantage. They have a small upkeep advantage, making magic happen as far as that goes. Get rid of that chat window. So we've got Killer, once again, just trying for the harass, continuing to queue up units, continuing to build stuff, but just does as much of this picking and needling as he can just to try and quiet things down. Try and kill every last unit that's possible, because those add up. A little Longhorn here, Longhorn there. Eventually, it's going to be a big difference, and when your units, when your forces actually converge, it's going to be a big difference. GoCreate using his Warthog, take out a couple of other things. ProProProPro also just stealthing in, getting a good scout and seeing what's going on. Green team is already here at mid, neutralizing a lot of these. They're coming up through the middle passage, so when Carbon team rolls around on this left side, they are going to be bumping into each other a little bit earlier than some of these other matches we've been watching. So ProPro and GoCreate do have to take out this neutral Goliath, or they're going to suffer some casualties unexpectedly. Neutral lockboxes do pop up. Neither team really going for those right away. Those do pop up at 2 minutes even. Killer going ahead, pushing his tanks to the north side of the outpost, clearing out the last of the neutrals. Carbon sees the opportunity, pushes into the south side. On the opposite side of the outpost, they're going to try and neutralize this under Green, but meanwhile, Green is spamming units out. Killer using his bomber for some harass. GoCreate trying to work the air to ground, but there aren't any green units over here. So ProPro trying to get stuff done with a stasis, but nullkuhl as the Osprey going to keep these units topped up and keep them from dying. Killer meanwhile puts them on follow, sends them on a custom waypoint over to the left-hand side of the outpost. GoCreate gets taken down, and Green decisively takes this middle outpost away from ProProProPro and GoCreate on this mad depression. So Green now with a firm advantage just has to press that advantage and, in layman's terms, just not fuck it up. Which is easy to do, gotta say, especially against a player of this caliber and against a Warthog. So setting up some turrets, we've got T-99s, they've got a Seeker, but that killer with that long-range assault on that Mantis Strike going to be able to pick some of these units off. Now, Green is moving in. They spread out so their units aren't in a clump, but the heavy mines take out several of those tanks. Green is sacrificing almost all of their upkeep here. GoCreate with the Hog taking out a lot of those as well. Unfortunately, the Carbon clump was mostly jumpers. They were infantry, so Killer the bomber just runs in, swirls around, wipes those all out. This is pretty even. Both teams basically lost everything they have, but Green is all that remains. ProPro and GoCreate need to go back to square one, need to rebuild their army if they're going to get back into this. Now, ProPro does have that area of effect stasis. That does do a little bit of extra damage. Green does capture the outpost, though. GoCreate trying to use that Hog, pick off some units here and there, but the Osprey can out-heal that damage. So GoCreate might actually get picked off here if he's not careful, but ProPro, being the fantastic teammate that he is, body blocks and prevents GoCreate from going down, saving his life against all odds. Lots more heavy mines going down, but they're not on the main approach route. If Green just put these on the straight attack command to fort, they would not run over a single one of these heavy mines. Now, what are the odds they're going to do that, though? We've got more heavy mines over on the left side. We've got 28 upkeep, pretty much all in mines. ProPro desperately trying to kill these Gemini, but just unable to out-DPS the Osprey's heal rate. So that Osprey, once again, you just can't kill its units. That's the primary advantage. Killer trying to solidify this advantage. He's got more units. Gocreate going down to nullkuhl's fire. So nullkuhl going to go ahead, take advantage of this, drop some units right behind this outpost. ProPro is stealthed and should be able to take out this Osprey if he's a little more dedicated. So he does kill nullkuhl in retribution for his heinous act of murdering Gocreate. But Green is going to go ahead and push. Unfortunately, they're rolling right over these heavy mines, and the fast units in the front will not be able to trip all the heavy mines, so these Seekers are probably going to get taken out. There goes a couple more. There goes a Gemini. Even despite those losses, though, they still outnumber Green, so GoCreate going to have a hard time here trying to get over his post and do some air to ground, but he doesn't own that post. So he gets taken out. He's got no healing. He's got no extra energy. So ProProProPro once again kind of left with nothing to work with. He's got a ton of heavy mines, but no units. There's nothing to push back here. So Green is just going to keep moving from post to post and keep squirming around. Now, if they do push straight over, once again, the heavy mines are kind of just out of position to really do enough damage to swing this back. And every time ProPro lands in to try and harass, nullkuhl and that Osprey just holding that right click, goes ahead and tops all these units off. None of them actually get killed. And so long as ProPro can't kill anything, they're not going to be able to get a unit advantage back. So Green starting to probe in. I don't see why they don't just, you know, throw everything in there. I mean, there's no anti-air here, so I mean, a mech could do a decent amount of damage. You'd be surprised how much a determined hog can do, but I'm pretty sure Killer and nullkuhl, this is their game to lose now. So ProPro has been a good fight, but I think once again, heavy mines are good, but they're not that good. Because all these units are going to stop before they get close enough to even trip those heavy mines. Might see a couple go off, sniper unit here or there, but ultimately this fort is going to go down. Mad Depression is going to get taken out by swift demise. GG. So we see our top seed get dethroned by a combination of better coordination, better communication, and a little bit more speed.